We are here for our second chapter of Advice to Young Mothers after a hiatus of 11 years. So happily tonight our cooking team, Rita, Tim, and I will be preparing two pizzas. One a plain cheese pizza and the other will be a very special pepperoni number. So fasten your seatbelt and be ready for a good cooking spree.
So, Mom, you've just pulled the dough out of the bowl.
That's
and
right.
Now you've put it on some silicone sheets. And what comes next?
We're going to kind of get this into a ball. Might need a little bit of flour on it. And then we'll cut it in half.
First, you're going to get it into a ball, and then you're going to cut it in half.
Oh dear. I threw all the flour downside.
Is that what one does when one is angry? Throw flour in the cellar?
All right, so here is the total mass of dough.
And it looks like you knead.
Not much. It's all kneaded. I'm just trying to get it so I can work with it, or you can work with it.
Does Dad demand a pizza every night? Is this something you do on a nightly basis?
Well, we traditionally have them on Friday night. And
It's a Sunday night tonight. Is there a special reason why you've gone with Sunday night?
yes, because we had salmon on Friday. I'm not thinking.
So it looks like you've cut the big mass into two smaller loaves.
Right.
And is each of those going to become a pizza at some point?
Yes. That's the idea. And you're going to be the transformer of dough into pizza crust.
I can't wait.
Here you are.
So we've got two loaves that are approximately the same size. And what would you call this? What's the nomenclature on this?
Rolling pin.
A rolling pin, all right. And what does one do with one of these doohickeys, as we call it down south?
You roll it back and forth, and then you roll it this way until you make you want to make a rectangle.
Would you recommend a pushing away or a pulling in or a combination of both?
Try it. See what works for you.
20 minutes later, into a rectangular shape. Mom, could you please approve or disapprove, or just give me your feedback on this rectangle?
I'm amazed.
Wow.
You did such a good job on that.
Now, did we put spray on the bottom or some sort of olive oil or some substance?
I sprayed just the outside edge of this pan like that.
Have you sprayed already?
Yeah.
All right.
You're all
So
set.
now what would be the instruction after I've got a satisfactory rectangle? And you were saying that we should raise the edges. Now, why did we want to pinch these edges up like this? What was the purpose of that?
To hold the sauce.
To hold the
So what-
sauce!
Yeah, hold
Brilliant.
the sauce.
Brilliant! To hold the sauce. Now that we've got this rectangular shape on the silicone mat, we just pick the whole kit and caboodle up and put it inside? All
Yeah.
right.
And then we do it again with the next one.
Are you more of a corner like that, or do you sort of massage it underneath? Maybe I'll use my judgment.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna tweak this by pulling it this way
Oh,
just a little bit. That way
brilliant.
The whole thing is in the pan.
All right. Whole
And
thing
that's
is in the
gonna
pan.
work very well.
All right, so it looks like we're halfway there with one of our doughs.
Yep.
Now it's Rita's turn. You can see she's just a natural at this. She has a cooking gene. In fact, as we're making pizza here, sweetie, I have heard many a time that the best pizza in the world is not, in fact, from Italy, but rather where? Where would one find the best slice of pizza in the world, honey?
Let's say São Paulo.
São Paulo, Brazil?
Yes.
Rita, that's magnificent. Oh, thank you.
She's making the borders.
And why is that, Tim?
And we learned earlier, the reason we make borders is to contain the sauce. Now, I'd like your comments for the young mothers out there. What is the difference between the aging? Do you prefer the 10-month age to, say, the 12-month age or the 8-month age?
I never noticed that on the cheese packages.
That was the one available.
What about the 2 cheese blend versus the 4 cheese blend? What is your preference?
Well, I never bought this before. I don't even know what cheeses are in it. Cheddar and mozzarella. Okay.
It sounds like the young mothers out there don't need to be so preoccupied with which cheeses they choose, as long as they choose some cheese.
Exactly. Final cheese, the Parmesan, that's aged the longest.
Would you say that you would lay down layers of the 2 and the 4 cheese blends and then put Parmesan on top?
Yes.
I notice also that we've got pepperoni. First of all, a general question. From which animal does pepperoni come? Is that a pig product or a beef product?
I don't even know what it's made out of.
It's a delicious product, we could say, right?
Yeah, I'll get my glasses and see what animal. Perfect. We never saw better pizza. Oh, it's pork and beef.
Pepperoni from pork or beef.
It's both.
To the young mothers out there who perhaps are not so much taste conscious but more health conscious, would you recommend a vegan or vegetarian substitute for the topping that is pepperoni-like?
I guess so.
Now we have 2 beautiful pizzas with nice formed edges in order to accommodate the sauce. And is it now time to pour the sauce into the middle of each of these pizzas, Mom?
No, dear.
Tell me, what would be the next step?
We're going to paint olive oil around the edges where the sauce is in so it won't burn or get hard.
Excellent.
And Rita, you could do that. Perfect. There. Kim, would you please open that jar? Only a strong man could do that.
At least I'm good for something around these parts. Sweetie, are you all done painting the edges?
Yes.
Now, it's just the edges. For all the young mothers out there, Mom, why not paint the middle too?
It's going to be covered with sauce so it won't burn or get really crusty in the oven.
And Mom, Rita has done a magnificent job rolling out the doughs and then putting little olive oil sprinkles on the outside of the doughy, as we call it in Brazil. Or I believe it would be massa in Brazil. What's the next step in the process, Mom?
Well, we'll put half of the jar of this wonderful Botticelli tomato basil sauce.
And they also are official sponsor.
Oh, very nice.
We always use these are fantastic products.
So, to the young mothers out there, how much would you recommend to put in each of those pizza tins?
Half a jar.
All
for
right.
each.
I think this one must have had and so it's gonna be all in fast mode.
Mom, I see that Rita has just finished using the dregs of that sauce container. I'm just asking for the young mothers out there, would you recommend washing that jar out as soon as possible, or do you tend to let it sit for a while?
I wash it out as soon as possible.
Now, why is that?
So it won't get dry on it and make it hard to wash out.
I think we cover all this with tomato sauce, right?
That is perfect, Rita.
Awesome.
It seems like we're ready for the cheese now, Mom.
I think we'll start with this 2 cheese pizza. Just sprinkle a layer on each
On
one.
both pizzas.
And then we'll move on to the 4 cheese pizza.
And do that there?
And then we'll top it off with the Parmesan.
Now, at your direction, what do you think? I would say that generally, the Florida branch how you sprinkle. And if I have any talent, it's through the Ruth Otis, Diane Otis, we're gonna do a little bit, of course. Like this is advice for young mothers, part 2, the savory, we call it, right? Just like that, right? Just a little bit. Perfect.
Well, Mom, we have rolled out the dough. We have buttered the edges with a paintbrush. We have spread the sauce and sprinkled the cheese. What comes next?
We're going to sprinkle basil. I like basil very much. And
Now, yeah, go ahead, please. I don't mean to cut you off.
instead of a mixed Italian spice, I am going to use basil.
Now I see, this is just advice for the young mothers out there. Look at the size of this basil container. Is this something you tend to buy at a Whole Foods type of store? I'm not talking Whole Foods, but a Costco type store.
This is from Costco. Your dad picked it up.
Why would you go for a spice at Costco? I'm curious.
Because I use a lot of basil, and I really love it. So,
Would you recommend the young mothers go for basil over oregano on a food item such as this?
it's a matter of taste. The young mothers can eat whatever they want. They can sprinkle whatever herb they desire. It's an executive decision.
We have made the decision to go with pepperoni on one and only one of these pizzas. Mom, advice for the young mothers out there. What would be the pitfall of pepperoniing, if you will, both of the pizzas?
Well, what if one of your children hates it? Then you'd have to pick it off.
Exactly.
And
That'd
that's
be a waste
messy.
of product too, right?
Absolutely.
What would be the ideal number of pepperonis on a
Look at
pizza?
this. We got exactly the exact amount of
Perfect.
pepperoni.
I see, Mom, that we've got some extra pepperoni. What are you going to do with this pepperoni that's still in the bag?
Well, it looks like there's at least enough for 2 more nights of pizzas. So I am putting it in the refrigerator, even though I don't believe it needs refrigeration.
You would recommend that for the young mothers, that even though, despite the fact it does not say refrigerate after opening, probably just to be on the safe side, we refrigerate?
Absolutely. It can't hurt it, I don't think. So here I go.
Would you put it in the meat section?
Put it in the cheese and cold cut section.
What do you think about these beautiful pizzas, Mom? What's the next step in the process?
They must go in the oven, which is preheated to 350.
350?
Ready to go.
Does it matter that the meat one goes up top of the cheese one, or vice versa? How long?
You don't even need to use those to put them in because the pans are cold.
Well, you know what they say. Safety first, Mom. Safety first.
Do one at a time.
You know what? That's advice for young mothers that we could all use. Along with chew your food. What was it, 50 times as a kid I had to do?
I don't know. Anyway, they're heavy.
So, would you recommend putting them in vertically like this or horizontally?
Horizontal.
All right. And how long are we going to put these puppies in the oven for?
We'll check them in 20 minutes
All
and
right.
see how they are.
All right.
Beautiful.
Wow. And do we have a timer that we set for 20 minutes?
20 minutes. And here we go.
Nice.
It's counting down. Rip one. There's our
Wow.
first pizza.
Do you feel like that's done, Ma?
I do.
Perfect.
Here is our very professional pizza cutter. And I think that you should do the honor to carve that pizza.
Oh, I'm carving. How many slices should I make across this way? 1, 2, 3, maybe?
Yeah, if you think that looks good, do it. Does Rita like it light and airy?
She likes it like this.
Good. Oh, you're doing a great cutting job.
Oh, you're an easy grater. Now we're ready to eat, and everyone has got their selected beverage, and it's time to enjoy the fruits of our labor. And it's time to enjoy the fruits of our labor.
Many hands perfected the pizza.
Delicious.
What did you say about the crust, Dad?
Light as a feather.
And Mom, how about your thoughts?
Satisfying and delicious.